We are back with another Savage stream. Thanks everybody for tuning in, liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, and all that good stuff. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate it. You are all rock stars to me around this place. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I really do appreciate it. If you ever wonder what kind of profits you can expect through mining crypto, this is going to be a video that kind of lays that out a little bit. This is kind of like your type of video. It's time that we review a month of mining on the co-owned rigs that we have here at my house yet again. And this month brought a few surprises, not as huge of a surprise as before, but there's some benefits to some things that have happened here at the house. Namely, the network upgrade has helped quite a bit. If you're looking to stay up to date on promising proof of work crypto projects and some crypto mining and networking how-tos, every now and then I'll talk about different things like networking as well. Be sure to subscribe to my channel here and click the notification bell, like this video, share this video, and leave a comment down below and let me know what projects you are mining or are interested in. I'm always in the comments, and I usually try to reply as much as possible. I've been replying to other languages. I'll go to Google Translator and actually translate it and then respond in that language. I know that's probably not a good thing to do, but yeah, I thought it was pretty cool to be able to, respond back in the same language. So I thought that was kind of neat. All right, so let's talk about what is going on this month. On June 19th, we actually switched over, June 19th, 4 months ago, we switched over to use NiceHash exclusively for the shared rigs. So this is the 4th month that we've been on NiceHash, and we had a couple really decent months in between there. Not the first month, but the second month was pretty good, and then the third month was really nice. Or it might have been the other way around. Maybe the second month was really nice. Yeah, the second month was really nice. The third month was okay, and then this month has been okay, not great, but we're going to talk about it. These co-owned rigs have several owners. You see that there's 2 active rigs here. Those are the 2 rigs. And if I go over here to mining, this is what the name of the rigs are. Yeah, I've got some high temps here. It's usually just one GPU that hits a really high temp, but they don't. The rigs don't crash or anything, so I'm okay with this as long as it doesn't stay that hot. The vault where the rigs are is a little warm in there. It's like 98 degrees right now. Probably need to look at a way of getting the temperature down a little bit. It's a little bit too warm in there, but it's not terrible. If you're in there, I'll go in there and actually work and do things on the rigs, and it's not really that bad. So. I think that the 98 degrees that's being shown on the little display for the exhaust fan that I have is a little, what would I say, a little generous on the heat side of it. I think it's a little bit less than that. Anyway, all right, so a couple years ago, a few of us put some money together and bought all the parts to build a couple of 8 GPU mining rigs. So the co-owned rigs that are here, they total 16 GPUs. They're all RX 580s. I just recently repasted, did the, golly, I'm going to totally space this. What's that called? Golly, the thermal paste. Okay, so the thermal paste, I did that on every GPU in this rig here, and the temperatures were a lot worse than this before, and you can see that it's only really hot on a couple of them. but it did get the temperatures down a little bit. I probably need to do the thermal pads too, the memory thermal pads and stuff like that, but that's like way outside the scope of this particular video, so I'm getting a little bit off track here. But I noticed that whenever I looked at the temperature, so I was like, I wanted to bring that up. So there's 16 GPUs total, RX 580s. Some of the build was actually recorded, and this was a couple years ago. I just never really put anything online for the builds, but I do have some, videos of after the builds, right? So I've got, stuff that looks like this. So this is Dagobah. This is one of the rigs. It's not in the garage anymore. This is actually in the vault, and it is in a 6 GPU frame just like that with 8 GPUs. Had to drill my own holes and basically make a mount for them. Basically, you can see up there in the top, you can see the screws that I had to put in there myself and stuff. So it's not like it comes. And so that's Dagobah, and then this is Mustafar. Mustafar has changed a lot since this video. It's also on a 6 GPU frame, modified in much the same way that the Dagobah frame is showing there as well. So those are the 2 rigs, and we'll talk about the hardware and stuff here in a moment. If you go to what to mine, if you look at what to mine pretty frequently, you can see here I've got Dagobah selected, and what to mine finally updated they actually have a logo now. That's kind of cool. But you can see I have tabs here for each of the rigs. So I got Dagobah here selected. It's 8 RX 580s. As discussed before, and then our kilowatt per hour cost is 10.3. And if I do a calculate, you can see that NiceHash, ETH is always somewhere near the top. I mean, it's very rarely that it is, not in the top 4, right, or not in the top 5. Sometimes Ethereum and Ethereum Classic, they'll flip, and you'll have Ethereum or Ethereum Classic, depending on what's going on with them, will actually be higher than NiceHash. But this is what kind of drove me for the shared rigs to go ahead and get them on NiceHash, because the profitability just seems to be there, and it was pretty steady. So I went ahead and talked to the guys and decided to put them on NiceHash, like I said, 4 months ago. So that's kind of where we're at with that. And basically there's no difference between these 2 tabs. They're both 8x RX 580s, but if I was going to be messing around and doing some different calculations, that's why I have 2 different tabs. And then even on the NVIDIA side, for 10 series anyway, 10 series GPUs, a little bit older, but even on those, NiceHash is at the top. So this is what, with a shared rig environment where you're kind of looking at, making a little bit of profit, not necessarily, looking at mining a specific coin, just like, hey, I want to, mine, but I want to get paid in BTC, and that's it, right? So that's what these rigs are actually for. Now, not the Kessel rig. The Kessel rig is mine, and Scarif is mine, but the Mustafar and Dagobah are both shared. All right, let me check the chat, make sure everything's okay over here real quick. What's going on, guys? What's up, Travis, Yashnik, Cryptid Youth? What is going on? Serpent, what's up, man? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, smash the like, do all that cool stuff that you guys do for me. It's appreciated so much. All right, so let's get back to the rigs here real quick. And if we go to the dashboard, I like NiceHash. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't use it for many years, for a couple years, and I just started using it because of that value of the shared rigs, right? Just being able to mine the most profitable. And typically it's Dagger Hashimoto on NiceHash, ETHash. So, and getting paid in BTC, it makes distributing the profits, if there are any, very easy, because I can just send it to the owners' wallets, BTC addresses, and be done with it. Whereas before, like let's say we were mining CCX, we mined CCX for a really long time, basically more than a year on these 2 rigs, and I think it was actually more than a year. I think it was more like 13 or 14 months. And it's just there weren't very many months where there was any profit, which is sad. But we are holding these coins that we mine, and hopefully value goes up significantly in the future. That's what it's all about. But in the shared environment, this just didn't work, because it's like, hey man, I've got this money wrapped up over here in this hardware, and we aren't getting anything in return. So that's why we kind of changed our gears and went a different direction with that. But so my point is that it was really difficult, if there were any profits, to get them from Conceal, right, to something else and then convert it and all that stuff and then it took so much time and effort. It was like, this is just nonsense. So that's another reason that we went with NiceHash. So NiceHash has a nice interface. It's NiceHash OS is what we're using. So we're booting the rigs to NiceHash OS. Nice interface. I don't have any problem with it. I thought it was kind of buggy at first, but it was actually my network connection being wireless, and I've done videos on that and the whole thing where now it is super solid, man. These rigs never drop, knock on wood, they never drop off. I don't have to reboot them. I don't have to reboot the router, none of that stuff. After I upgraded my network here, it has been pretty solid. I don't worry as much, and it's actually affected the profitability for sure, because I can tell you the last couple months, there was a lot of downtime for the rigs. So just by pure accident, meaning like I would go to work and then they would, something would happen with the wireless connectivity and some type of interference, and they wouldn't be online again until I got home. So there were several days like that. So it's really frustrating, but now it is super solid. So I'm actually digging it. So you can see here, if you go to mining up here, you got how many rigs are mining. You got the current actual profitability, 865 a day, not terrible. This changes, drastically throughout the day. It's not something to really put too much value in. You kind of should go probably to what to mine, kind of look it up over here, get a good idea of what each rig is going to make. And obviously you got to check this all the time if you want to get a good idea, but this is kind of like a quick look, average kind of thing. And unpaid mining balance, you got the next payout. It pays out every 3 hours, I think. And this is the current balance. So this is what we've mined. I did pay out all of last month. So this value right here, this 178.57, is from this past month, this past 20 days. Past 30 days, in the end of September and into October. So this is what we're going to be dealing with tonight on the calculations, and I think that's about it. I mean, not too much to show here. I mean, you can go into the rigs and kind of check them out and see what's going on. But I do have them all set to low. I probably could at this point, because of the connectivity. I'm a little worried to go any higher than the low setting because of the heat, right? So if I had a little bit better cooling, I could probably go to medium on that, but I'm going to leave it at low, and we'll just go from there. So, all right, cool. Let's go ahead and look at our spreadsheet here, our Google Sheet. And this is basically what we use every month. We lay out exactly, what is going on each rig, how much was mined, what cryptocurrency was mined, what the value of that cryptocurrency is, the total value, where we got our, information from. We usually go to CoinGecko. We also are going to look at the power used, although I can tell you this, and I have to put this up front, full disclosure here. Whenever I transitioned the network to a new network from the old Wi-Fi to the new Wi-Fi setup that I had to reset the smart plugs because they would not connect without resetting them, and at least 3 of them lost all the data for the previous month. And because they're in the vault and the wireless access point is clear on the other side of the house now, I'm probably going to have to move it. They are not real solid connection from those smart plugs. I get little warnings and stuff all the time about them. I can actually probably show you that. Yeah, so like here's the interface for the unified network, and right down here I get all these little warnings and stuff. That HS110 there is saying like is having trouble resolving, stuff like that. So I get these little alerts all the time for that. And so point being, long story short, I don't have good power consumption, but we can go back and look at the previous months and kind of do an average, and that's probably what I'll do. So it's probably better to do it that way anyway, because the power fluctuates a little bit based on what it's mining and stuff. But normally I have pretty solid data, and this month I just won't because I had to delete some of that. I didn't have to delete it, but it was deleted whenever I reset the smart plugs. So anyway, all right, so let's get into that. All right, let's start with Dagobah, and if you want to look at like the hardware-wise, what each one is. So this is we'll start with Dagobah over here. I've got it broken down into who owns what and the percentages and stuff. It's only 2 owners of Dagobah, me and one other person. We used to mine to a combined wallet here for CCX. Don't use that anymore. But if you want to look at the hardware, this is what it is. I need to change that. It's actually a 6 GPU Veta frame nowadays. And still has the H110 Pro BTC Plus 13 GPU mining motherboard. Pentium G4400. Memory is just 8 gig, I think. It says 4 gig here. I think I have 8 gigs, so there's probably 2 of those. And then storage, I probably have, I want to say I have a better USB on both of these rigs now, because I was running into a little bit of problems with these super cheap verbatim 32 gig store and go USB drives. Just kind of wearing out, just not great quality and stuff. So I think I've got a little bit more reliable, maybe a Samsung or something like that on there now. Power supplies, and these basically are identical across the board. All the way down to the GPUs. The GPUs is basically the only difference. Let's see, what else we got? Power supply, yeah, I've got a server PSU on both. I've got Focus Plus Series 850 watt desktop power supply. And then the server PSU 1200 watt. And it is actually 1200 watts now because they're on 240. All this is on 240 now. So that's good as well. And then you got the GPUs. So Dagobah is Gigabyte Aorus Radeon 8 RX 580s, 8 gig cards. Pretty decent. The fans go bad pretty frequently though. And they do run a little bit hotter than the Phantom Gaming X. So this Mustafar is the same hardware except for the GPUs themselves. Phantom Gaming X from ASRock. Pretty decent. Cards for mining, not necessarily good quality build or anything like that. They're pretty shady as far as the build quality goes, but they are super solid. I've had 0 problems out of these cards compared to these. I mean, I've had to replace a bunch of fans. I had to repaste. I haven't done really much to these at all, and they've just been cooking right along. So, yeah, solid mining cards for sure. And I don't have to worry about, like this rig, whenever I boot it, sometimes there's a couple of GPUs that won't fire up. I have to reboot it like 2 or 3 times to get all the GPUs to be recognized. This one, just turn it off, turn it back on, it's good. They're all going to come up every time and with no problem. So that's always a good thing. This rig is just a big headache. So, all right, so let's go back over to the monthly report, and let's see here. So if we go back to the NiceHash dashboard, we're gonna have to split it. I'm gonna split it evenly again this month. Based on based on basically what they've mined. I'm just going to slice it right down the middle. They've both been online pretty much the whole month, so I think we're all good there. One of them is, it varies so little between the two. I think that they both pretty much profit about the same every month. And look at this, right now it's up to $12 a day for both the rigs, and that was only $8 just a few minutes ago, right? So anyway, the wallet balance is this right here. We're going to split that in half, but I'm going to go ahead and throw it over here on the spreadsheet here. So the amount mined was that. That's not right. I think I'm going to have to type it in. I ran into this problem earlier too. For some reason, let's see if I can control C here. All right, that kind of worked. No. Alright, let's just type it in. Actually, you know what I'll do? Let me see. I think I had to do this last time, didn't I? Didn't I put it somewhere else, paste it somewhere else, and then copied it from there? I think that's what I did last time. I don't know why it's acting a fool like that. Yeah, see, that's not... why is it not copying... That's weird. It's like not accessing my clipboard, I think is what's happening here. Anyway, all right, so we'll go 0.01494,326. And then we need to take half of that. Yeah, see, before this month here was a pretty good month because we had some pretty decent profits. So that was last month. This month, you can tell already that's not going to be that great because we have to split this in half. And this is just a little bit more than last month. So let's go with equals E32 divided by 2. I think I can do it like that. Yeah. So copy. All right, there we go. All right, got it. So that's half of half for each, right? So half of the total. And it looks like the total USD value was about $88.90. We got the value. Let's go and double check that though, because I need to make sure. So I copied that before. I don't know what Bitcoin's doing right now. It's actually up a little bit. All right, so let's do that. 11,986.17. All right. So it's 89.56, and now we have to look at the power. Okay, so what we'll do is I'm going to have to let's see, how did this work? So something I had to do too, and I kind of described this last month, is I had to put 2 smart plugs on each rig, one for the main PSU and one for the server PSU. So it looks something like this now. So it's monitored from my phone, obviously. I've got the smart plugs on there. And if you go into there, you can kind of see the history of it. Like this one, I think that, yeah, see, it has passed 30 days. There's no way that this was on, well, actually, this one might be pretty accurate. 198 on the main PSU per gigabyte, and then on the server PSU, I think this is where, yeah, see, it can't be right. This is one I had to wipe out because it only has 50 kilowatt hours for the past 30 days. So this one was wiped out, even though it's using 983 watts. So I think that, yeah, see, total runtime is only 51 hours, so it's not accurate. Okay, so what we'll do is let's go down here and look at Mustafar real quick. The main PSU, I think this one, yeah, see, that one's jacked up too, only 50 hours. This might be right. 474, yeah, 720. So I could probably pull, let's just say it's 474 plus, it's going to be about 600, I think, on each, because they've both been online pretty frequently pretty steady this month. So let's look at this. If we go back to previous months and we could take kind of an average here. We'll call it like 550. I think that'll be fair. So we're going to go 550 total on each. So I'm going to go on the main PSU. This is main. So we'll go 200. This is way off. Okay, this is not as far as like what's actually going on here. So we'll go 350 there. So that makes that makes pretty good sense. Although that's a little low because I would imagine that my electric bill was more around the $70 mark. So actually, let's go ahead and add a little bit in here. 70 for each. So that sounds good. I'll suck up a little bit of the electric cost here. All right, so we are going to say that the electric cost was $61.80 each. So you've got here, how much of that earned Bitcoin over here is going towards power. So the net profit is $27.76 per rig. Hopefully this is making sense. I went ahead and did both of them at the same time. Normally I do them one at a time, but it's, you know, because we're just splitting the profits evenly, it just makes more sense to just go ahead and do them both at the same time. And just kind of ignore this down here. This is like unreimbursed CCX that we mined just for electric costs. So I'm kind of waiting, hopefully that it'll go up in value and we'll be able to settle that a different way, because the wallet doesn't even have that much in it. So we're way negative as far as the CCX deal goes with regard to power. So in other words, I paid way more in power than we actually earned with the rigs, and you can see that right here. So 35.30 is what is sitting in the wallet. Actually, let's see the total. Yeah, the total is 45.33 because we've got a little bit staked here. So 45.33, but 66.12 is what's owed. So instead of just clearing out this wallet, I'm just waiting. So we'll see what happens with that. All right, and so yeah, it looks like, I mean, our profits are down from last month pretty bad, but you know, this was like the Uniswap months right here, these two. So with the increased ETH rewards and all that stuff. So that's why it's a little bit down. Not so much right now, you know. I mean, ETH is not really down or anything, but BTC seems to be taking over. Dominance is going up a little bit. You know, alts are kind of bleeding right now, but that happens pretty much any time that, not any time, but a lot of times that BTC goes on a little run like this, you'll see the alts bleed a little bit. So yeah, cool stuff. So we got 27, was that 54 bucks, 55, 56, almost $56 in profit for the month. Not terrible with a couple rigs, $25 each, $27 each. Not awful, not great, but not awful. All right, so let me check the chat, see what you guys are talking about over here. Yeah, I've thought about doing a lot of different things in there as far as the fans and cooling and stuff. Mike, yeah, I definitely have. Oh, thanks, Yashnik. Yeah, I did a, honestly, at the end of it, I was supposed to, I had it in my notes to actually say, hey, if you want to see a quicker video, or at least a shorter video, go and check out, you know, the OAN fans channel. But I've totally spaced it, totally forgot to do it. I did put it in the description of the video though, like your video link is in there. So yeah, if you thought that Aeon video was cool, go check out Yashnik's, because he got it done a lot faster than me. So all right, let's see here. I don't think that NiceHash pays in other coins, but what they do have is they're adding in the capability of like depositing. You can deposit in different currencies, and you can like monitor, right? So like this is just a watch list here, and you can trade also. But I think that the payouts are always going to be in Bitcoin. I don't think that you can get paid out in anything other than BTC. I think that's the way it works. But you can deposit other currencies on here and trade them and stuff. So, or use them for, you know, buying whatever, buying hash power or whatever. You know, there's a lot of other different things you can do. So what we do, if you might be wondering, okay, so now there's this profit here. So what I'll do is I'm going to go into wallets on NiceHash here, and let's see, I'm on the right. Yeah, this is the right one. I think I just clicked that. Okay, so that gets me to wallets, and then what I'll do is withdraw BTC, and I'm going to withdraw it to this Zelcore wallet over here, which is set up for Blockring. That's the group that owns the rigs, and it'll come into here so that I get that payout to here to Zelcore. Then from Zelcore, I will distribute to the different owners. Right, so you got the distribution like this. So I'll apply these percentages. I've got another part of this spreadsheet where I just plug in the monthly profit, and it will calculate how much I'm supposed to send them, you know, based on their percentage of ownership. So that's how I do that. It's fairly easy, pretty quick, not too bad. Yeah, I'm a Chainlink holder. I actually have a little bit of Chainlink. I got in pretty early, actually. I mean, I say early, not super early, but I got in at $1.50, and I think I bought more around like $2.20 or something like that. So yeah, that's been a pretty good little run, seeing as how it's almost $10 still. It did go up. I think it touched or it passed 20. Should have taken some profits, but you guys know me. I just hold. That's all I do. I don't even know how to get this stuff into fiat. So I do, but I just don't. I'm really bad about that, about not taking profits. I need to get a little bit better at that. At least get it into a stable coin or something. You know, I don't know. Yeah, I'm awful about that. Yeah, there you go, Khalid. Khalid's nailing it there. Thanks for that info. All right, so I don't know if anybody else is going live. Looks like Crypto is live. Serpent, you doing anything? Or Red Panda's not in here, I don't think. Yashnik, you doing anything on your channel? Yeah, so what's up? Anybody doing anything? I know I need to do I'm going to do, I've been saying this forever, I'm going to do another video. I got to, because the network upgrade is pretty much done for the most part. I don't have the cameras installed and stuff like that, but that's kind of like extra, right? That's a different thing. I bought these cameras, the Ubiquiti G3s, and guess what? Like this week, they came out with a G4 that is 1440p. These are 1080p. I'm like, damn it! That happened to me last time too. Like it seems like every time I buy something, like the next week, something, newer comes out. Now they are $50 more, so it would have costed, like for the 8 cameras, it would have costed a lot more. So I'm okay with it. I'm not like really upset about it, and plus the quality is going to be great anyway. So, yeah. So Serpent is going to have. Caffeine and Crypto this Saturday morning at probably 11. I don't know. He was talking about possibly changing the time to a little bit later. So, yeah, I get wrecked all the time. And you know what? The first thing I remember that happened to me, or the first time that it happened to me like that, where I bought something and then something brand new came out like right after that, was the damn iPhone 3. Like I bought an iPhone 3. It was my first iPhone way back when. And I think the next week, because I wasn't paying attention to like the release schedules and the new hardware schedules and stuff, not like I do now. Although this caught me off guard because I didn't even know they were bringing out a new camera. I did look to see if there was anything coming out, and Ubiquiti is not really forthcoming with the new information. I think that they just kind of release things as it goes. So anyway, I could be wrong there, but it just seemed like I didn't see anything new coming down the pipe. But with the iPhone, I bought an iPhone 3, and then the following week, and the 3S came out or whatever. But again, I wasn't paying attention to the cycles and stuff. So, but that did happen to me then, and it happened to me again on these cameras. And it's happened to me different times, throughout the past 10 years or so. Just different things. It's kind of weird. I have bad luck with that kind of stuff. So anyway, yeah, Saturday morning, I don't know if he's going to change the time to a little bit later. I think he was going to. So, yep, Caffeine and Crypto, Saturday morning, check him out. Serpent X Special Forces. And I think he's going to have Crypto Mikkel on there if I saw right. I was on there last Saturday. We had a good time talking about the 6000 series and market and stuff like that. It's neat. It's a good show. Get to wake up. It's like Saturday morning cartoons almost, right? All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'm just rambling. It's way past my time. I'll see y'all tomorrow night. Oh, real quick before I get off of here. Tomorrow is the Rap Ccx public sale. It's the beginning of the public sale for Rap Ccx. I think they have 450,000 available, I believe, right? if you're wondering kind of like what in the world I'm talking about, if you go back to just a couple of videos ago, right here, I talked about Rap Conceal pre-sale. And, you know, Conceal is one of those projects I've been supporting a long time. Love the guys, love the team, love what they're doing. Privacy coin. Basically, they were DeFi before there was such a thing as DeFi, or before it was called DeFi like it is now. They had staking, you know, and you can see that in their wallet here. So they have banking features and deposits, and you can earn interest on staking and all that stuff right from within the wallet. And you don't have to leave the wallet up and running, so it's not like a node or any of that nonsense. It's staked on the blockchain in an HTLC, a hash time lock contract. So there's nothing that you have to do other than stake. And you can see right here where we have 1,000 staked. And actually it's withdrawable, so we could actually pull this out right now. Yeah, so what they are doing though is they have Rap Ccx, which is basically a Rap Ccx represents one Ccx on the regular mainnet of Ccx, but it's on the Ethereum network. Now there is no real relationship other than that one-to-one swappability, right? It's not saying that the one that's on that's wrapped, the Rap Ccx, is not a CCX. They're two totally separate currencies at this point. Now eventually there'll be some swappability, easy swappability. You can see that in this video here if you're wondering what I'm talking about here. But anyway, so they had their pre-sale, that was 50,000 I think, and then they have 450,000 in the public sale, and it's going to go on for a month, I believe, but it starts tomorrow. So if you're interested in that whole ERC20 wrapped token situation, Uniswap stuff, then yeah, get into that, because I think that it's a good deal. Good stuff over there, man. Yeah, I love Saturday morning cartoons. I used to hate, because where I grew up was like a hub for wrestling. And I can remember being like really young, you know, 7 or 8, and man, the Saturday morning cartoons would be like from 7 until 11:30, I think, something like that. I would watch all of them. I would watch everything that I could, and then at 11:30, that damn wrestling show would come on, you know, with the cheesy wrestling like way back when, you know, the fake wrestling, and I just hated that tune, that it drove me crazy. So as a kid, I would just jet out of the house. I'd go out and play in the woods or something whenever that came on. But as I got older, I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. You know, Jerry Lawler and Bill Dundee and, you know, those guys. I kind of got interested in it after that. Then I lost interest. I'd no longer watch any of that wrestling stuff. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'm just rambling. See y'all tomorrow night. Look out for the pre-sale for WCCX, and that's probably what we'll be talking about tomorrow night. So if you're wondering what it is about, I'll probably talk about it tomorrow night. So stay savage, everybody.